Go inside the Crimson Tide. Tider Insider TV with Rodney Orr and Gary Harris.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Tider Insider TV presented by Buffalo Rock Bottling Company. They bottle all kinds of good products like Mountain Dew, which we're enjoying tonight. Alongside Rodney Orr from TiderInsider.com, I'm Gary Harris. And Rodney, we're talking NFL Draft first up tonight. You know, it was just a couple of years ago. Alabama didn't have a single player drafted, but that's not the case in 2010. Rolando McClain was the first Tide player to hear his name called. On Thursday night, he was taken in the first round, the 8th overall pick by the Oakland Raiders. After the excitement died down, the Tide linebacker told reporters he was a bit surprised. He expected maybe to go to Denver, or certainly the Giants wanted to take him very, very badly. Had not had really any serious conversations with the Raiders. Nevertheless, California, here he comes, and he's excited about it.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't have any favorites. I just wanted to go play football, and whoever's, I don't know, lucky enough to draft me, that's where I was going to be happy. So I'm ecstatic to be a Raider. I think they've made a great choice in me. I just got to live up to expectations now.
Rowe's certainly not shy about telling you he's going to make the Raiders happy they picked him. Wasn't much longer after that. That young man, Kareem Jackson, also a junior like Rowe, heard his name called. He was the 20th pick overall in the first round by the Houston Texans, a real up-and-coming team. He's expected to compete for playing time right away as a nickel back and play some at the regular cornerback position as well. They really like his physicality, his ability to tackle and cover man-to-man, do the Texans in regards to Kareem Jackson. All right, Rodney, I mentioned 2 years ago, no players drafted. How much positive publicity is this for the Tide? 7 players selected. Several others immediately signed free agent contracts. Let's run them down. McClain and Jackson both in the first round. Javier Arenas, he went high, number 50 overall to Kansas City. Terrence Cody also in the second round. Great fit for him with the Ravens. Ozzie Newsome's there. They love those big run-stopping defensive tackles. Mike Johnson went fairly high. Marquise Johnson, a guy we didn't talk a lot about being drafted, but the Rams liked him. And Brandon Dietrich goes up to New England with Coach Saban's buddy Bill Belichick. So, Rodney, you know, again, I guess it just, again, really shows you what Nick Saban's done with this program. 2 years ago, not a single player drafted out of Alabama, which is shocking. Now 7 players drafted, 2 in the first round, 2 more in the second. The talent level's been risen up, and NFL scouts and coaches have taken notice.
And we're going to continue to see more because of the recruiting of Nick Saban, Gary. I don't think there's any question about that. You can look for more first-round draft picks next year, and as the trend will continue into the future, there's no question about it. But looking at it from a selfish standpoint, Gary, how good would Alabama be next year if Rolando McClain, Marquise Johnson, who should have been redshirted his first year, and Kareem Jackson were back?
Yeah, but you know what? That goes with the territory. When you're recruiting great players and they're doing well, you're going to see more and more juniors coming out too this year. I wouldn't be surprised next year, Rodney, if it's 3 or 4. That just goes with the territory. But again, we are getting a clear picture of where this program is headed under Nick Saban. Don't be shocked. Now, there's only 7 rounds of the draft now, but don't be shocked if at some point there are double-digit players drafted out of the University of Alabama.
Oh, I won't be. I certainly won't be. And again, it would, like you said, next year wouldn't be a surprise 3 or 4 in the first round.
Yeah, you know, there's possibilities. Marcel Darius, Julio Jones, both juniors, Dante Hightower, if he's recovered. Of course, we're not saying we hope that happens.
Mark Ingram.
But at the same time, if they come out after their junior year, it means they had a really good junior year,
No
so
question.
that could be good for Alabama as well. So a lot of excitement with the draft this year for Alabama, and it's a good thing. Like Rodney says, you hate to see those guys go early, but when they're first-round picks, you have to say they made the right decision. Well, from NFL draft now to basketball, and this news is not really positive. It's not terrible news because obviously Justin Knox wants to do something. He has the right to do it. The former Central High School star played basketball for Alabama at 3 years. 3 years. He's always been a terrific student. He's going to graduate early, and he has announced that he wants to transfer to play his senior year, his final year of eligibility at another school. Coach Grant has given Knox his release. I heard some rumors about this last week. Rodney didn't want to believe it was true, but on Monday, Coach Grant wished his former player the best, but did admit it came as a little bit of a surprise.
So I was taken off guard. I didn't see it coming, and obviously, you never know in this day and age of college basketball, with guys leaving early for various reasons. But at the same time, anytime you're in a profession that you deal with 18 to 22-year-olds, not a whole lot should catch you off guard. So.
No official announcement from Knox as to where he plans to transfer. Rumor mill mentions UAB. Of course, Mike Davis, former Alabama player, the head coach there. I've known Justin since he was in high school. Great young man. We wish him well. Well, on Monday, Coach Grant also announced an internal coaching change. Director of basketball operations Tony Pujol is swapping jobs with assistant coach Antoine Petway. Let's talk about Justin Knox first. I mean, like I said, I heard this. I got wind of this last week. Thought maybe it was just a rumor. Yeah, I'm disappointed for Alabama basketball because he really came on as a junior and was a quality inside player. I thought he was going to have a big senior year, but he decides that he wants to go somewhere else. A little bit disappointed
first
from
of all,
that regard.
You're the basketball expert, so
why
would he do? Certainly he mentioned the fact that he told Anthony Grant that he wanted to. A better opportunity to make the NBA, and I mean, you have to wonder really what.
Yeah, I don't know
what transpired.
Where you could go somewhere else to have a better opportunity. I haven't talked with Justin Rodney. The only thing I can figure is that he just decided that he was going to be better off somewhere else, and decided to make that move. Again, from an Alabama basketball standpoint, it's disappointing, but Justin Knox has already, gotten in line. He's going to get a degree from the University of Alabama. He said he had a great 3 years here. You're seeing this more and more since that rule's been put in place that if you graduate, you can transfer without penalty, and that's what he's decided to do. As far as the coaching changes are concerned, you see this sometimes after 1 year. Coach Grant tweaking his staff. Antoine Petway was an on-the-floor assistant, but he's only 27 years old. He's still a very young coach. This gives him an opportunity to learn some of the administrative side of being a basketball coach. He eventually wants to be a head coach. Tony Pujols, a guy that's been an on-the-court coach with Coach Grant in the past, so I think this may be just a comfort level thing for all involved.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way, Gary. And again, as you mentioned, Antoine Petway, he certainly seems to have the things that he needs in terms of off the court recruiting. A lot of prospects really like Antoine Petway, mention him certainly as a key recruiter, and I think the more experience he gets, the better opportunity he's going to have to fulfill his goal of becoming a head basketball coach.
Well, in recent weeks we've gotten a lot of calls about basketball recruiting. Alabama had the 2 early signees, the point guard Relaford, the shooting guard swing player Hankerson, and a lot of fans concerned about was Alabama going to sign anybody in the late period? Well, they really come up big this past weekend. Jason Carter, 6'8", 230 pounds out of Texas. He's one of those what you call late bloomers, Rodney. Originally, he had planned to go to prep school for a year to increase his viability as a Division I signee for next season, but he put up big numbers this year as a senior. Ole Miss, Alabama, Oklahoma State, a lot of other schools had interest. It came down to Ole Miss and Alabama. Ole Miss was thought to be the leader. He visits Alabama and decides to sign with the Crimson Tide. 6'8", 230, that size is going to be needed with the early departure of Justin Knox. Also, Alabama gets an outstanding player that Coach Grant is very familiar with, and that, of course, is Durant. We talked about him last week, a combo guard out of junior college. So good recruiting news for Alabama, and they may not be through yet, Rodney, with Knox's departure. That opens up another spot, so don't be shocked if Alabama signs another player here in the late period. Well, up next on Tider Insider TV, they say life is a highway, and Mark Ingram might soon know that all too well. We'll tell you about the running back's latest honor, and it's something else, something special. Plus, we'll be taking your phone calls, getting to your emails. Give us a ring at 205-348 WVUA, that's 348-9882 if you'd like to talk to us. And still to come on Tider Insider TV, he's big in size, but he's got an even bigger heart. We'll tell you how Alabama's Barrett Jones spent his spring break lending aid to those truly in need. Stay tuned. You're watching the show that takes you inside the Crimson Tide. Tider Insider TV, presented in part by Buffalo Rock.